everyone, welcome back to Sophisticated Bogan. Adam here, of course. So we're back on the bike. Finally, we're going to be able to do stuff with the bike. As you can see, there's everything's sort of been set out. With these, I've decided that I'm going to do the silhouette black. I've been umming and ahhing about whether or not I was going to change the colour. It's not a big deal, it's just a quick coat, or sand dander coat and all that kind of stuff. I've also got the forks that have got to be done. They're ready to be sanded down. I've got other little pieces that are going to get painted the silhouette black. But yeah, so we've had a sort of a difficult end to last year and difficult start to this year, plus mental health issues as well. People, make sure you if you don't have stigmata against mental health. It's really important. So yeah, so I'll show you around and see where we're going. We've had to get a whole other marquee. Like, we had a brand one and the cover just died, like within half the time that this cheap one does, which is quite surprising. I mean, this thing isn't going to last either. It's a cheap marquee. I mean, we've already got a little hole there, but it's not a massive big deal. I can get everything I want to get done. But yeah, so I've put a little crossbar in. Make sure we put it on some brackets, just so that I can still hang stuff and be able to paint them. Yeah, so I'll show you some other things that we've got going on. I've got the wheels as well, which I'll show you those right now. I was hoping for a bit more sunlight, but let's see what's going on anyway. I've also put in a right angle valve. Makes things a bit easier to get past the brakes and stuff, so when you've got them sticking out like that. So that's the front. As you can see, the brakes and everything on. Also, make sure if you ever change disc and everything, make sure you put new bolts in. Same with the rear, and same with the sprockets. Make sure you've got new nuts and everything on them too. But yeah, so I'm pretty chuffed about how they've turned out. I think they're going to look great on the bike, so I can't wait to see them on that. Alright, so yeah, I've also got parts on shelves. In this video, the rear suspension, everything will be getting put back together, or maybe this episode. But yeah, so we've got the brakes and new parts as well as painted parts. Alright, so let's crack on and we'll get things going. And yeah, so the idea is to be able to get the frame put back together, swing arm, all that jazz. Yeah, it's been a long road and it's taking longer than I'd like to, but as I said, it's been rough lately. Yeah, so we'll get this stuff together. So we want the frame put back together. Oh, not frame put back together. Oh yeah, speaking of the frame, I've got to do the head stem bearing as well, and a couple of little touch-ups that, when I had it hanging, it was hanging upside down, so there's a couple of spots on the top that I'll be getting when I paint the rest of it. Paint the the forks and the other little bits and pieces. So with that as well, we've also got the mirrors. These aren't the original mirrors. I decided to get some new mirrors. Well, actually, these are the ones that I had for a while, but for a different bike. It didn't work out that way, but it seems to work out well for this one. These ones have also got indicators in them as well, just so people are a bit more aware where you want to go. Alright, cool. So let's get going then, and we'll start putting this together and paint and all that jazz. That's after its first sand, just really to get all of the crap off, so I've got to sand it further. But yeah, sand it a few times, get it up to the grip that I'm happy with, and yeah, then they get primed and painted. That is one fork that's ready for that grip done. On to the other one. So I'll just quickly point out too that I'll probably point it out again when it comes time to do primer and paint. But make sure that clean this area up. Don't paint over it. Just put get a blade, to get some masking tape and then just cut around the edge and then peel it off, and then you'll have that covered. Also, make sure that inside here doesn't get any paint, as well as, you know, make sure, because that's what butts up against the wheel, so make sure that that doesn't get painted. If you get paint, just sand it, you know, but just keep on top of it. Alright, do the other one. The forks are ready for the next sanding stage. Now, I have these down to, I have it sanded up to 400 grit, and then I'll be putting down etch primer because of the exposed metal. Obviously this will all get covered up, so you know, we don't get any paint on the seal or on the tube. Right, so we'll put these to the side because they're ready for the, you know, stuff being put down. I'll wax and grease these later when I'm up to that stage, but yeah, so we're going to move on to actually maybe the mirrors or the air intakes, one of the two. Decisions. Well, you know what, it doesn't really matter because I've got to sand all of it anyway. Alright, now because these are redos, I didn't have to sand them all the way back. I just need to get through the clear. And yeah, so these are sanded up now to where I'm happy with them. They can sort of dry, and then they'll be waxed and greased as well, and ready to be painted. So we'll have these things ready. Where'd you go? So that's the air boxes done, or air intake, sorry. Now, I'm glad I went over again because there were some imperfections that I wanted to fix up, and there were some that honestly only I would have known about, and whoever buys the bike might have known about. You know, like that's it. But OCD is OCD. So at least these are ready now at the grit that I want them to be. They can dry off, and then when I'm ready to paint, get onto these things. Now the bearings are aftermarket, so you know you're going to have little areas that you need to clean up, but otherwise they're not too hard. As long as you know what you're doing and you know how to make them fit right and all that kind of stuff, they're fine. Just a bit more hands-on. on, you big bloody beautiful bastard. Here's me face. Alright. So those are up to a grit that I want it to be, but you know, there's still got to be primer, plastic primer, then primer filler, in case there's any little divots in them. Good. Yeah. Here's the air intake tubes. I'll get them ready because they're just going to get painted black, like just a normal black. Get onto them. They should be ready to go. I think they have to be the. Yeah, you can't see them. At least make them decent. Pretty sure I said this in another video, the parts for this bike are extremely hard to find, so that was all broken, and so I've done a repair on that so that it's all goods again, as you can see. Now, yeah, but these just get painted black and you don't see them. Alright. Okay, so we have all this here. The forks, and I've also got the side stand that I'd like to get done as well, so I'll move on to that. Alright, so I'm just going to leave this bit here and we'll reconvene probably me tomorrow, and you guys, it's just the next bit. So I'm just going to go have a break now. So we've got the side stand, forks, mirrors. Those go on the mudguard, front mudguard covers the forks. We've got the intake tubes, intake boxes. Also the bottom cowling that goes down the radiator and exhaust. Alright, so on the next bit I'll work it out and you'll be surprised. Okay. Oh, alright, okay, so we've got everything wax and grease, prep sold, whatever what you want to call it. So yeah, next phase for these is for the plastic primer to go down. These just need to be painted black. And yeah, so these are the parts that I'm doing at the moment, and also the bottom part of this rear suspension. So yeah, this is what I'm doing now. So we'll get these things plastic primered and also painted. For these parts and also for the cowling, it's just the back parts that are getting painted black at the moment. So yeah, just the back parts. So that way, it just, as I said, previous, it looks cleaner, and yeah, so, but they'll be getting painted silhouette black, like the rest of the stuff. Okay, alright, so let's get cracking. Let's get primering. So, that's the plastic primer done. You know, they are going to have to be sanded because can't seem to find a plastic primer that doesn't run. I've got to remember to do it light first coat, not so heavy. But anyway, let's get these tubes completed and out of the way. This paint is not reacting well to the plastic primer, so I'm going to do a different technique to get it to work. But anyway, fun times, just part of the fun. Alright. Alright, let's get into the rear suspension part and put some paint down on it. Alright, okay, now for this piece we're just going to let it flash off, and then I'll be turning it over. I'll be putting down some wax and grease, wax proof paper, or you know, wax paper, whatever, so that, you know, nothing sticks. So once the clear coat's on there and it's dried enough, I can then turn it over onto some wax-proof paper, and then I can do the other side. Alright, that's that side of it done. Once that dries enough, I'll put some wax-proof paper, grease, you know, the stuff that doesn't stick, baking paper. So yeah, I'll put that down, and then I'll be able to, you know, turn it over, it won't stick to it, and then I can do the other side. So that's that part mostly done. Alright, so now on to these, so round two. The paint should go down well on this stuff, it normally does. Okay. Okay, now we've just letting things flash off. As you can see, everything has come up well. Now that we've got past that plastic primer issue that didn't, well, the paint didn't like the plastic primer. So these are all goods. That's pretty much all I'm doing for these. I mean, they don't need to be anything flash because they're on the inside. It's just to make it look cleaner. Alright. So the next thing I'll probably be doing is, once this is flashed off enough, then I can turn it over, put the baking paper down, and then get on with doing the silver and the clear coat for that. And yeah, so the next things I'll be doing after that will be sanding the other side of these once they've flashed off enough that I can handle them, I'm going to touch them, and so they can be ready for paint. So things are going alright. I will be getting onto the forks, putting the primer down for that. I'm trying to work out a nice, good way to sort of set them up. So they're probably going to be, I don't want anything else hanging on here when those are on there, just in case. But I've got an idea of how I'm going to set them up. Alright, that's just got to flash off now, and then I put the silver down, and then I put clear down. Alright, so we'll give it a moment, and then we'll put some clear down. Alright, so that's just got to dry. But yeah, otherwise, not too bad. Pretty good. Okay, so now next bits we're going to get on to sanding these parts the other side so that they can be ready for paint. So I've just got to clean my paint guns because I didn't last time. I know that's naughty, but you know, life, shit happens. So yeah, got to get my gun prepped and mix up the paint and that kind of stuff, because it's proper paint that I'm putting down for this stuff. You know, anything that's on the face of it gets the silhouette black. Alright, so yeah, we'll get cracking on to getting them ready now. Oh, and also clean them up too, because they get painted the silhouette black as well as the air intake pipe, and the air intake boxes. God damn. Alright, cool. Alright, so unfortunately the marquee is not going to be strong enough to hold the forks, so I'm having to resort to the clothesline. So just got it sitting up on there with the old top plate and just bolted them in so that they can just hang there. So yeah, they've been waxed and greased, or prep-soled, you know, whatever you guys want to call it. And so yeah, they're ready for the primer to go on, and then they can, yeah, closer. We're getting closer to painting them, so that's good. All right. Alright, so these are all primed now, all ready to go. Okay, so what I've got to do next now is I've got to get these sanded on this side so they can be ready for paint. So they'll be going up to 800 as well, because I want a nice smooth finish. Alright, let's get cracking, shall we? Oh yeah, and that is all definitely finished now. So I'll be able to move that shortly and go put it somewhere. Alright, okay, so that's them sanded. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put primer surfacer down and then sand it with 800, just a light sand, just to make sure they're smooth. And yeah, then I can put paint down, but that won't be until the next, well for me tomorrow, you guys in the next video. I've got to get my gun ready and also get the paint mixed up as well. Alright. Okay, so these are now been primer surfaced. So the next thing for them is just to put in a light 800 grit sand, and then they're ready for paint. Well, once I wipe them down obviously with Pepsol, but then yeah, they'll be painted. Cool. Alright, so yeah, we've got the forks ready for primer surface. They've been wiped down, ready to go. So let's crack on to that, shall we? So the next phase for these will be paint and then clear. Okay, so I've gone ahead and painted these as well. They're just flashing off at the moment, as you can see, some of it already has. So yeah, I'm just getting them black for the moment, and then when I go to do the rest of the silhouette black on the rest of the pieces and the forks, etc., then the top of them will get the silhouette black on there as well, and then clear coated. Okay, so that's going to be it for me today, and then we'll kick it off again tomorrow. Alright, till then. Alright, again, we're ready to get the paint down. We've got all these parts here to get painted, as well as the forks that are hanging up on the clothesline. Alright, let's get cracking. Alrighty, I think this looks pretty good now. Got everything covered. So yeah, next to that is clear. Alright, now I'm going to put some clear coat down on these. Some of these. Alright, I think those are pretty good. I don't know if you can see the glue that much in it on camera, but yeah. Alright, let's get stuff on the inside done. So that's first coats are clear down. So grab one of these. look at the sun. Probably should have gone for a bigger flake. Can't see the blue that well. Get another bit. So it came out on this one. Oh yeah, there you go. So I just need to lay it down more. Yeah. So we've just got some more clear to go. And these parts will be finished. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you with all that. I'm just going to get them clear coated, get them finished, and then I'll show you guys the results. And that'll be also probably the end of the video for it too. But we'll cover that then. Okay. Alright, so we have everything clear coated. And just have a look at that. You can see the blue flake. Much better. Okay, so those parts go onto the mudguard on the front wheel. And we've got the cowling, nice and shiny. So it's the same effect that you saw on those other pieces, the black. But yeah, they're all looking all clean now. Mirrors, awesome. So they came out really well. So that's the finished result. And of course we've got the forks. Now it's a bit harder to see because these aren't, flat in the sunlight. But might be able to see some of it on some of the pieces that are facing the sun. Everything up? Okay. So we're just going to finish this one up here. Don't forget to comment. Tell me what you guys think. Like if you guys like what I'm doing or whatever. If you've got any suggestions or ideas, make sure you hit the like as well, and also subscribe, of course. I really want to make something of this channel. So the next video will be getting the frame together, putting the rear suspension back together, because I need to let things sort of set and cure. But everything's ready to go now. I've just got to do the stem head bearing, the rear suspension put back together, clean up the hubs and stuff like that. Then I can get it all together. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one, and so next one will be everything being put together. So yeah, the next video I'm going to do is kind of be just stuff that I've got to do with the Commodore. So that'll be the next video that I put out. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers!